Toya Jackson will not be ignored. She's back in the public eye and speaking her mind about everything.
Because I've never really openly spoke about this.
Brother Michael.
You feel his pain, and you wish that it could all end or come to an end and stop.
Her plastic surgery.
Aren't you inquisitive?
And even her painful past.
They're not very pleasant days. They were just not pleasant days. Okay, can we just stop for 1 second?
But now Toya is starting over with a new album and a new attitude.
It's about time for me to be brave.
VH1 went on a wild ride with Ms. Jackson from the mean streets of Beverly Hills.
We just got a ticket.
To South Beach.
Wait, what are you doing? That hurts.
To the Kentucky Derby. It's an exclusive insider's look at all things Jackson through the eyes of Toya.
My parents taught us having contact with people. It's all a part of the business. And if you don't like it, get out of it.
This is VH1 All Access Spotlight, Toya Jackson. Toya Jackson out and about is something you've got to see to believe.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Everywhere she goes, from Hawaii to Beverly Hills to Miami, a curious crowd quickly gathers.
We're so gorgeous. Thank you.
Whether they marvel at her physique or are drawn to her peculiar Jackson mystique, she always causes a stir.
What's your name? Charmaine.
And now she's taking the show on the road big time. Toya is everywhere, promoting her 2004 album, Startin' Over.
I'm getting dressed to look my best tonight.
Starting over is basically eradicating the past from my life, getting rid of all the garbage, all the rubbish, all the nonsense, and I'm very happy that I did it.
The CD is the culmination of a harrowing journey to hell and back.
They're not very pleasant days, and they were just not pleasant days.
Her life has been a series of highs and lows that at times left her a shattered recluse.
I stayed in the house for a long time. So embarrassing.
She poured her heart and soul into Startin' Over, co-writing all the tracks. The 3-year labor of love helped Toya rediscover herself and cope with the turmoil that comes with being a Jackson.
It was very cathartic, actually. For the first time, I could just feel relaxed and comfortable and do my music the way I choose to do what I want to do. And that's what I'm doing.
Startin' Over is actually Toya's 10th album. Her body of work, eclectic to say the least. There's the country album, the French one, the disco disc, and who can forget the 1984 classic, Heart Don't Lie. While Toya's sound is certainly unique, you can't help but hear the influence of Sister Janet and Brother Michael. You should. For years, they've rehearsed together, harmonized together, and appeared in each other's videos. These days, the bond between Toya and Michael is rock solid. She's standing shoulder to shoulder with her younger brother as he fights charges of child molestation. December 2003. While Michael was being charged with 7 counts of child molestation in California, Toya was 3,000 miles away in Miami prepping for a TV appearance.
Today was kind of a rough day for me. Everything's going to work itself out. I know that.
Toya has been reluctant to speak out about the sensational charges against her brother until now.
You feel his pain, and you wish that it could all end or come to an end and stop. And we're all supportive, and we're all praying and hoping that this is all over with very, very soon. And I truly believe in my heart that he will be vindicated.
The case has brought the often fractious Jackson family together in defense of one of their own.
I think it's brought a sense of awareness more to the family, a togetherness of awareness, meaning we must be careful with what we do and what we say and how we portray ourselves, because people are really misinterpreting everything that's being done.
LaToya insists that Michael's admitted fascination with children is purely innocent and not bizarre at all, claiming she shares the same affinity for kids as her brother.
When I'm down or depressed, I see a little kid, it just makes me happy. It just brings all the joy to my heart. The same for Michael. I think it comes from being in a large family.
LaToya, the middle child of Catherine and Joe Jackson's 9 kids, grew up in Gary, Indiana, with a particularly strong connection to Michael. He's just 2 years younger.
Michael and I were always close because we were the two that were so religious. We would go to school and everybody would have their lunch break, but we would just sit down on the grass and study the Bible.
But when the King of Pop first faced accusations of child molestation in 1993, LaToya was married and in what she now calls a controlling relationship. She broke from the family and turned on her beloved brother.
Michael is my brother. I love him a great deal, but I cannot and I will not be a silent collaborator of his crimes against small, innocent children.
Whether speaking out was motivated by her difficult relationship or came from a personal attempt to make headlines, LaToya Jackson will only say now that she was wrong back then. Today, she insists on her brother's innocence.
We always say that it's going to be fine, it's going to be okay, but he believes that too. He knows it because you know the truth, so he believes that as well.
Michaels isn't the only Jackson controversy LaToya's been dealing with. She wants to set the record straight about Janet's wardrobe malfunction at the 2004 Super Bowl.
When it happened, Jan called and said, I had no idea. He ripped it and it went the wrong way, and that's what happened basically.
In spite of all the controversies, life for the Jacksons must go on.
Can I get some champagne, please?
LaToya Jackson is high on life right now.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
An amazing transformation for a woman who said that she once was locked into an abusive and destructive relationship.
I was in this situation, this relationship, that I was afraid to, and I was threatened if I did leave.
That relationship was her marriage to Jack Gordon, a man she met in 1987 when her parents hired him to manage her world tour. LaToya says the union was so horrific, she won't even speak his name.
So they sent this individual over with me, and that's how it all started.
The two became involved and were married in September of '89. She claims Jack ruled her world through fear and manipulation.
I was afraid to do anything. There are people that can have total control over you, that control everything you do, everything you say, everywhere you go, who you see, who you're not to see, which I wasn't allowed to see anybody. If I spoke to you outside the door, I would be beaten. That was a natural given.
Her family and perhaps rescue was just a phone call away, but she couldn't reach out.
They didn't have a clue what I was really going through. I didn't want them to be a part of my problem. I felt this is something I had to get over, something that I had to work through, and I didn't wish to instill that upon my family.
By 1996, after 7 years of what she describes as a nightmare, LaToya was at the breaking point.
I finally got the nerve to leave. I didn't care at that point if I died or not. I said, this is it. I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did.
So this is going to be fun.
Getting out was hard enough, but that was just the first step. She still had to heal herself.
I went through a period where I couldn't leave the house for 6 months. I had absolutely no human contact. I would just order food 3 times a day. And I would never see the people that would deliver. I'd just reach my hand out the door. It was that fear. It was that fear. But I've overcome that. It's funny because you look back on that today and you say, geez, I've come a long way. I was so terrified.
I'm getting dressed to look my best tonight.
And overcome it she did.
The first single is Just Wanna Dance.
That's what her new album, Startin' Over, is all about. LaToya's letting the world know she's gonna write the next chapter of her life.
Toya Jackson signing autographs right now for each and every one of you that are here.
It's about time for me to be brave, because being the underdog for so long and people putting you down, and with the encouragement of your fans, it's like, no, I can do this. I know I can. And of course you can. And I'm doing it.
Coming up, LaToya reveals the secrets of her killer body.
Aren't you inquisitive?
Now she's going under the needle.
Is it gonna hurt me? Oh my God, that hurts!
Then we'll do the mall crawl with her for the very first time.
I'm going for the soft ice cream.
And later, saddle up, we're hitting the Kentucky Derby. When VH1 All Access Spotlight, LaToya Jackson continues.